Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is season 16. We are coming off of a Super Bowl loss, unfortunately, but we did make it back to the Super Bowl after just 1 year of not making the playoffs at all. Um, I forgot to finish out the season after the Super Bowl. Like in my head, I was like, okay, Super Bowl's over. It's time to move on. And then I forgot to show the re-signing period. So. Um, Cody McDougal digressed to a point where it just wasn't worth bringing him back at all. And then Tyler Schwartz is still he's actually rated as the #1 quarterback in the entire league now. Um, but and he wants 37 million a year. But I've been feeling for a long time that he's just not worth those big time contracts. And we've seen in the Super Bowl he can't lead a team to a championship. Um, so I decided to go ahead and let him go, see what happens in free agency. A franchise tag was like 37 million as well, so I wasn't going to do that. Now, I was curious, so I went into the free agency before starting this video, and I'll bring it up and show you. So Tyler Schwartz isn't getting the offers he wants, but he is getting offers. So I offered him kind of a team affordable contract, what I think he's actually worth. I don't think I'm getting him, and that's fine. But look who is available, and nobody's offering to him. Now, he's not the quarterback that he was, and he certainly isn't someone that we're going to build around. But he's won the MVP almost like every single year. So I figured, hey, why not bring him on if I can get him for a cheap contract, and this gives us a chance to at least go into next season with a good quarterback, and give us time to maybe get a quarterback in the next draft or something like that. So at this point, he has a contract offer. He probably won't get another contract offer from another team because he is 38. So there's a really good chance that we'll have Lamar Jackson going into next year. It looks like Tyler Schwartz will probably be heading to Tampa Bay. With that said, there's nothing else that I need. We're good on every position for now. And there's no quarterbacks here that I want to pick up and maybe try to develop into our future quarterback because they're all either old or not good enough to progress in anything good. So let's go ahead and work our way to the draft. Now, when I was looking at my team, I did see that we're getting a little old at left end, so I may consider drafting a defensive end to take over for him. So let's go look at, I think I actually already, I did scout defensive ends. Take a look at defensive tackles too. Look at a speed rusher too. Yeah, so all the other defensive tackles are run stoppers. That'd be great if we were a traditional 4-3, but we're a Tampa 2 right now, so that doesn't really help us too much. I could look at power and speed rushes from linebacker. So a power rusher with 27 reps isn't going to really get the job done at defensive end, but we can take a look at him. Kind of curious what this guy's stats are. So the third strongest left outer linebacker has 28 reps. So we're looking at probably 29 or 30 reps for the strongest. If we can find that in a power rusher, it might be worth getting, but for speed rusher, we can go a little lower. Well, I'm not finding any speed rushers that I think will have any success at defensive end. This guy here is rated as a power rusher, but he does have good finesse moves, and he is pretty agile and quick. So maybe he could be molded into a speed rusher. Yeah, this guy's just a power rusher guy. Again, maybe he could be molded into one, but he doesn't really have the athletic ability of a speed rusher. Wow. He's a weak run stopper, but he'd be the quickest and most agile. Curious what his finesse is. This is the strongest right out of linebacker. He's also quick and agile, so let's take a look at him as well. He's a speed rusher. I don't think he'd have much success at defensive end though. Alright, so I'm not really seeing any positions we need to scout. Did we get all the linemen? I think we did. Could scout tight ends, but I think we're pretty good on that. Let me finish scouting halfback if I haven't already. Yeah, I didn't. Had just enough points to finish that guy off. Okay, so Tyler Schwartz did reject our contract. That isn't really surprising. How about Lamar Jackson? Are we still... Ooh, we are not. Interesting. So is there someone that we can bring in who could lead us there? Kyler Murray is the best quarterback that doesn't have a contract offer, but he's only a 73. His accuracy is really bad. I do need to bring someone in as at least a backup. Though if I'm going to get a 73 overall quarterback, I'm leaning towards Alex Coleman, someone who might be here for a little while. Now, granted, he's even worse than Kyler Murray, but he can develop still. So let's go ahead and offer a minimum contract to Alex Coleman with the understanding that he's going to be a backup the rest of his career pretty much. We could bring Justin Herbert back, let him start and finish his career in San Diego, right? That'd be probably a waste of money though. I'm still not against trading for a quarterback. In fact, I do want to see a quarterback from the Patriots, how he has progressed. So I think he was about an 80 the last time we looked at him. Still a superstar. They have him as a scrambler. Maybe he wasn't the guy I was looking at. I don't remember what team the guy that I was looking at was playing for. Here he is. Oh, the Giants. Okay, so he's up to an 83. There we go. Okay. So he's charismatic. He's a pocket QB, which is kind of what I prefer. He's trigger happy, so as soon as he even senses a little bit of pressure, he gets rid of it. Now, he also is aggressive at forcing passes, so that means he could potentially just instantly get rid of it towards a wide receiver and get picked off. Let's see how he did last year for his stats, though. So he hasn't really done that well in terms of passing yards. His interceptions aren't that bad. I mean, he's under the 10 that I'd like a quarterback to stay under, but he hasn't quite gotten to the 30 yet. Now, with that said, he's playing for the Giants, so there's a good chance that the Giants aren't that good. So let's go look at the Giants right now and see what their offense looks like. Okay, so they have a serviceable running back. They have okay 1 and 2 wide receivers. They have a good tight end. Their offensive line doesn't really look that great, though. Not terrible, but not great. So, I mean, he should probably be doing better than what he is. But I don't know that he'd have too much more success with us. You know, he might get to that 4,000 yard mark. I don't know. You know, let's just see how close we get when we offer our 2 1s. I don't expect that it's going to get us anywhere near it, but you never know if it might at least open the door. Yeah, there's no way I'd be able to trade for him, so thinking about that doesn't even matter now. We're going to have to find our QB in the draft, much like we did with Tyler Schwartz. It might take a little while, though. We'll have to hope that next year there's a good quarterback. All right, let's finish scouting, get to the draft, and then get our season started. Okay, we do have Coleman as at least a backup slash maybe 1 year starter for us. Now, speaking of aging, like I mentioned with our left end, our running back is 30, so he's going to start regressing here soon. And, you know, as much as I'd hate to waste a high pick on a running back that isn't going to play right away, we might have to start thinking about that future. And Maynard had an okay game in at least the first half of the Super Bowl. In fact, he was kind of carrying our team for the first half of the Super Bowl. Then that second half, when they really started keying in on him, he wasn't really that effective anymore. Which means that I can't really trust him to carry a team over the course of a season. Alright, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to find the fastest wide receiver, but I'm going to cut that out of the video, and I'm going to edit it so that the next thing you see is when I have found him already. So I'll be right back with you in a second. Okay, so I found the top 2 speed wide receivers here in Ron Johnson and Adonis McLean. Adonis is the fastest. Ron is the second fastest. Now, I am very interested in Adonis because, let me show you his stats here. He is the fastest, 4.29, which is blazing. Now, look at his 3-cone and his 20-yard shuttle. For a wide receiver, they're really bad. However, I just went and compared those to running backs, and his 3-cone is almost as quick as the best running back, and his 20-yard shuttle is better than the best running back. So I'm really thinking about maybe picking this guy up and moving him to running back to be our receiving back. Now, I know I've been trying that the last couple years, and it hasn't been working out to us real well. And that 6 reps of his bench really worries me, but the speed and agility of this guy really makes me interested in to see what he can do as that receiving back, especially if he gets developed. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any scouting points, so I have to wait till next week to draft or to scout these 2, which actually there's not going to be a next week because that was the end. So maybe I'll take a stab on them later in the draft, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me get in the draft, pause it, and see what picks we have.
Are now on the clock.
Okay, so we have the 24th and 31st in the first round. Then we get down to the 6th round. We have 3 6th-round picks, and then the second to last pick in the draft. So I think with that 6th-round pick, yeah, maybe with one of those 6th-round picks, I might go ahead and pick this guy up. Because, I mean, I have 4, and at that point, I don't really expect to get anybody good. So, you know, why not take a stab on him? For Ron Johnson, though, he's the most agile and second fastest. So, maybe and only 6 reps as well. So maybe take a stab on him if he falls to the 6th round, but I'm not using a 4th round or higher, 4th round or higher pick on him. So yeah. Let's see, 24th pick. Let's just go ahead and send to the pick and see what's available.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Okay, so we have an elusive back that's available, mid-first round talent, but I'm not seeing things I like about him. We have to go to the 2nd round here to find people that have a 1st and 2nd round grade. So we're looking at a right end speed rusher, someone that I could bring over to left end and develop. He has a high vert jump, so maybe he can bat some balls down, and he is 6'5". He's the 2nd most agile lineman. His strength is a little down, and his speed and acceleration. Well, his acceleration is okay. So maybe that might be a good guy to pick. Go ahead and tag him. This run stopper is available. If I needed a run stopping linebacker, I'd consider drafting him. But here's another defensive lineman for speed rusher. He is quicker, more agile. He's faster. I think he's a little weaker though. He's also shorter and has less of a vert. Again, that doesn't really matter, other than batting down balls. It's a late round pick though, and this guy is also a late round too. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. So this guy's actually pretty good. Do we need a free safety though? Let's see. Best speed, best agility, best accelerate, or second best acceleration. He has a decent amount of bench reps. You know what? I think I might go ahead and draft this guy and maybe move him to a left outer linebacker. I'm torn between the two. And then of course there's this guy too. Throw power, throw accuracy short, good play action. He's 6'3". Choices. This guy's not bad either. And then there's always the offensive line, which we could probably... Let me take a look at my offensive line and see where we're at. Okay, so he'll be good for a while. He'll be good for a while still. And you know what? I don't think we need an offensive lineman this year. It'll probably just be a wasted pick. How about our safeties? You know, maybe I could use a better free safety. This guy's only a 78. Yeah, I'm going to draft that free safety, because if I can't use him at free safety, I can probably use him at linebacker. Oh, free safety. Alright, so Mari Michaels will be our first pick.
The Rams are now on the clock.
Okay, so he's a 78, so he's just as good as our free safety. Still only a normal development trait, though. Could use more zone coverage. So that'll be what we work on the most. But at least he does have some run support abilities. Maybe that block shedding is a little low, though. Not a bad pick, though, I don't think.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Alright, let's see if that defensive end is still available. draft board. He is not. Darn it. Could take strong safety. Ooh, he does have B- catching. You know me and my catching ability for my defensive backs. I'm gonna take him. 73 in normal, not great. In fact, not good at all. But 21st best talent. Much rather would have had that left end or right end, but it's okay.
The Oklahoma
Right.
City
Who is
Nighthawks
available with
are
our
now on
second
the clock.
pick? Anybody on our draft board? No, just the wide receivers. Alright, so could get a elusive back. I really don't feel like taking a running back or a wide receiver with this pick. Taylor Moss would be a value pick for us. He's a power rushing defensive tackle, but I could move him to left end to develop as a speed rushing left end. Again, that put him in the same situation that we've been having, where we get really good talent that could develop into something special. So I just want to get rid of that hold reorder bug. It could be something special, but then we handicap his development because we develop him in a different area. Is there any other? Oh, he's a first round talent. He's a running back though, and a power back. Not something that would help us, I don't think. This is a elusive back. We can get him later though. He's not even that great. Now, this guy has C pluses for all his skills, but he's still rated as a first round talent. I don't understand why. There's another running back we can get later. It's a power back. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and take that defensive tackle. We'll see if maybe he can benefit us somewhere. It might almost be better just to develop him at defensive tackle and move one of our defensive tackles to left end.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
All right, so this draft has ended up being kind of a weak draft, honestly. You have to go to the 4th round just to find someone worth the 3rd round. And that guy's not even going to be that good. So we have Joe Mays, which is a halfback. He's a power back. Markel Kemp, who's a running back. And this draft is just straight ugly. Ooh, there is a 2nd round power rusher defensive end later. So maybe we'll pick him up with a later pick. I'm going to trade away the 3rd pick. So we're getting 4th round offers. So 92 for 3rd round, 91 for 3rd round. Of course, that's next year's 3rd round. 90. 93. There's no 2nd round picks though. So let's see. I'm half tempted to go ahead and take one of the lower 3rd round picks that come with an extra pick. So we're looking at 3rd and 7th. From Seattle, the New York Jets. Take the Jets.
Well, if you're wondering what the delay
So we'll get
is,
an
I think
extra
we've got a
3rd and
trade
an extra
coming.
7th round pick this year for a 3rd round pick this year that I don't think I was
The
really going to get
Oklahoma
true
City
value out of.
Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Alright, what do we have now? We have 2 4th round picks and a 5th. I'll go ahead and select that elusive running back. Actually, let me compare these running backs here. So we have Markel Kemp, and actually that power back up here got taken. So Markel Kemp, who has A- carrying and ball carrier vision, which are big for me. And then Kevin Whitaker, who has A+ carrying and A- trucking, which is really nice for power back. I'm almost thinking that the 4th round might be a running back round for us. Not that we need running backs, but at this point we don't really need anything. So let's go ahead and just take them, see what we get. So we got a 73 overall there.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the
And
clock.
is he still available for us here? He's not still available, so someone else went ahead and took him. At this point, I'm not seeing anybody that I really want to take. Because we do still have a 5th round pick, and then we have a slew of 6th round picks. I'm going to take Tyrell Kitchens with that 5th round pick. And then with those 6s, I might take those wide receivers if they're still available. And I'll trade everything else because honestly, there's not really anything else in this draft that I want. So let's go ahead and trade this pick. And actually, we're going to package some picks. So I'm going to trade this one. I'm going to use this pick, possibly this pick. So I'll trade these ones away. Let's see if we can get, probably can't get a 2, but I mean we can try, right? Let's just see how close it gets us. Yeah, it would have to be a 3. See if we can find someone who's projected to be one of the lower picks, or not the Browns. Getting close. Honestly, maybe I might just be better off trading those picks through the draft. I'll get probably more value out of them that way. Okay, so there's a 4th round pick here that I can get. Miami and Atlanta. I haven't really seen Atlanta accomplish anything in the series so far. So we'll take that one.
Teams are right now working on a trade. The
Okay,
Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Oh, both of those wide receivers are gone. So that just leaves Tyrell Kitchens that I'll take here. We got a good value for him. And unfortunately,
The Oklahoma City
there's
Nighthawks
literally nothing
are
else
now
that
on
I
the
want in this draft. Alright, yeah, I'm not seeing anybody else at all that I want. So we'll trade away all the picks. We'll just have a bunch of picks for next year, I guess. I'm getting 4th round offers here for a 6th round pick, so that's good. Tennessee hasn't been a threat since they've let go of Bloomberg, so I might take that one.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means? We've got a trade.
Alright, let's see
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks
get for this
are now
pick.
on the clock.
Some 5th rounders. Let's go ahead and take 5th rounder from Vegas. That way,
we've got a trade.
it's one less pick that they get that's that they could do anything
The
with.
Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
And oh, I didn't mean to go into make selection. Trade away. All right, so Pittsburgh's offering a 5th. Seattle's offering a 5th. New Orleans, Baltimore, Falcons. Baltimore doesn't have their MVP quarterback anymore, so let's take that one. Alright, so let's take a look and see what we got here. Let's see. So we picked up Kemp. He's only a 73 overall. Certainly not going to be anybody that takes over for Austin. Wonder if we can trade him and get something for him though. So what is this? Yes. I'm wondering what he's lacking in this, making him only a 73. Because he has good break tackle, good ball carrier vision, good carrying. Now I get that his juke move, spin move is down. He has great speed and great change of direction. I'm almost wondering if we add some power back to him, if that could make him a serviceable back. I'd really like to work on him. Unfortunately, the one thing that's preventing me from wanting to work on him is the fact that he's a normal development trait. So I don't see him getting past what these guys are at their ages. So yeah, we'll go ahead and trade Kemp away. Let's compare Austin and Maynard. So Maynard's faster, so Austin has better acceleration, better change of direction, better strength. And of course, literally everything in this video so far is making noise in the background. It's been a very difficult video to make. I've had to cut parts out. I've had to silence parts. So I apologize for this part of the video. Hopefully, as we go through the season, it'll be much better. Maynard is only a normal. Austin is an X factor. So I was thinking maybe we trade Austin away because he's going to start getting worse and just focus on developing Maynard. But, you know, and we don't really have a quarterback this year, so it might be a good year to just say, hey, playoffs aren't for us this year. Let's start some of the younger guys and build them up. I don't know. Okay, where's the rookie? So you're the rookie. Let's move you over to left end. Okay, so we have two young guys that are 70 overall. He's normal. He's a normal. He has more strength though, and that's because he's a power rusher. I'm confused now that I think about it. What is the difference between agility and change of direction? Because isn't your agility your ability to change direction? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, or maybe agility is like your ability to make cuts, whereas change of direction is the ability to go from like full sprint one way to be able to slow down, stop, and then head the other way. Because they did make that a big point of emphasis, not only this year, but they've been making it so that you don't just hold the sprint button. So that could be what that is. This guy has the best power moves, but his finesse moves are way behind. I'm thinking we move this guy to maybe defensive tackle. Yeah, let's move him to defensive tackle. That's really the only place in the team where he has a chance of being useful. And then Taylor Moss is the defensive tackle we drafted. He is a power move guy. Maybe not. Alright, you know what? We'll move him back to defensive end. And alright, so our left outer linebacker, by the way, is a 76. So if we look at our rookies that we got, this guy has a zone coverage of 72 and a catch of 74. So I'd much rather have him in a defensive back position. So let's put this guy at free safety. Alright, that's going to give us 4 free safeties. Now Bobby Turner is the guy that we've had at free safety, and he does well. Problem is, we need help at linebacker, and we have a bunch of free safeties now. So, Amari Michaels is a run support safety, so his zone coverage is lower. Let's move him to left outer linebacker. One of the biggest things that hurt our defense in the Super Bowl is that our middle linebacker got hurt, and we don't have that good middle linebacker to fill in for him. So I'm thinking we move Bobby Turner to middle linebacker, let him be the backup, and then we start Jure Watkins at free safety because he does have that catching ability. Let's see. Although Turner is faster, no, you know what? We'll move Jure Watkins to middle linebacker and let him be a backup. He's not going to be a good backup, though. Definitely not as much as the other guy would have been. So let's see. Middle linebacker. This is 70. That's not terrible. He didn't lose too much dropping down there. Norton. Norton is coming to the end of his contract. He's probably going to want more money than I'm going to want to give him. He's not as good of a coverage back. And he's getting old. But I think we're going to release Kevin Jones. We're going to keep Norton on the team, but we're going to make him the third middle linebacker. Move Watkins to the second. Give him a chance to develop behind Elias. Or Elias, whatever you want to call him. So that's going to keep Bobby Turner at free safety. How about left outer linebacker? Okay, so Gerald Brown is currently the starter, but Omari Michaels is only one behind him. Let's compare their abilities. So Omari is weaker, but he's a better tackler. He's really not that far behind Brown, other than his strength. Although his catching is not as good, which is unfortunate. Oh, this guy's a superstar apparently, so maybe not replace him. Alright, what to do about Jonathan Harrison? Could move Harrison to middle linebacker. Other than the fact that it takes forever to go there. Okay, so Harrison ended up being a pretty decent one, which makes Norton fully expendable now. And since he's free to cut, we'll go ahead and let him pursue options with another team. Okay, so our defense is set for this year. Oh, I forgot I have an extra right end here. Let's see, Tyrell Kitchens. Maybe I think it's time to let Monty go. Yeah, we'll let Monty go. Thank you for your services, and I'm sorry that you've just constantly been shuffled around. And you know what? We're going to switch Downing and Kitchens because the scheme calls for our right end to be a power rusher and our left end to be a power rusher and our right end to be a speed rusher. So we'll switch them so that they're both scheme fits, and that'll let them develop quicker. There we go. Alright, so defense is set for this year. Offense, we need a backup quarterback, and I need to figure out what to do about our running backs here because I don't need... Oh, I'm going to trade away Kent, that's right. That'll still leave us with 4. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we can go into the season with 4. So yeah, trade Kemp, sign a backup quarterback, and then we will be ready for the new season. Wonder if I can trade him for a quarterback. Is anybody green on him? Falcons and the Panthers. Okay, so let's see. I don't really have anything. They don't have anything there that I want. So let's look at picks. They're projected to be the 10th. Falcons are projected to be the 2nd. How close are we here? Not very. You guys need... There we go. So Kemp and 2 third rounds for a first round pick that's projected to be the 2nd. Of course, that long season that could change, but they're projected to be the 2nd worst team. I wonder what we're projected to be. It projects us to be the 2nd best team, but we don't have a quarterback. I mean, we have a quarterback, but we don't have that quarterback that I think is going to lead us to the promised land, you know. So 61 overall is the best quarterback for cheap, so we'll go ahead and pick him up. Alright, so let's set the depth chart. Brown and McCoy, let's see. McCoy's faster. Justin Brown has better change of direction. Stronger. McCoy's a much better pass catcher. I think we're going to give McCoy the slot position this year. Or at least that third wide receiver. When we get to the slot back on the depth chart, we'll see who's actually better there. As we go through our alignment, everything looks good here. Okay, left end. There's no reason why our starting right end should be our backup left end. Okay. Yes, Brown was a superstar, so he's going to progress faster. So I guess we'll leave Brown in there, and then Michaels will be a good backup outer linebacker. In fact, I might make him the backup right outer linebacker as well. And he's actually a good middle linebacker. Man, I'm going to make him the backup middle linebacker too. That way, hopefully he progresses to a point where we can actually use him somewhere. Okay, almost finished with our depth chart. Corey, you know what, let's do the slot receiver first before I do that. And yeah, Corey's going to be our third wide receiver and our slot receiver. Let's kick on side. So let's move Corey McCoy out of that. I guess we'll throw him there. Adams, Brown, Jackman. There we go. Alright, so Adams, Brown, Jackman, Maynard, Burke. There we go. Kick on sides, long snapper, gotta change this. Actually, Shepard's our starter, right? Yeah, so Florence will be the long snapper. Yeah, Knox is our starting right guard. Okay. Third down back. We'll have to leave that as that is. Power back. Alright, I think we are good to go now. Build up Justin Brown's slot ability, that way he can compete with McCoy for that third receiver spot. Now Deion Brewer can finally actually start progressing his overall now that we caught his power rushing up to his run stopping ability. Brewer had a heck of a Super Bowl until he got hurt. We had like 7 guys get hurt in that Super Bowl, which of course didn't help our chances of actually winning it. Let's look at his run stopping. Okay, Cole Downing. This was one of those younger, or no, this is the guy we moved right end. He is younger though, but work up his speed rushing. I'd really like to build up his man coverage, but after seeing the Super Bowl, I'm wondering if maybe if we had better zone coverage guys, if all those open wide receivers wouldn't have happened. So let's go ahead and build up zone coverage some more. We'll give Burke some zone as well. Finally got him to 80 or 81. Alright, Gerald Brown. We need to build up his pass coverage more. Although he definitely needs more tackle and block shedding too. But we'll build up pass coverage. Alright, so it's time to start off the regular season. And despite the fact that we have a quarterback that's, what, 25 points lower overall, our offense is still rated just as good. So let's see how we do this season, and that'll tell us just how important the quarterback is, because we had the best quarterback in the league and he led us to a Super Bowl and a great season and then choked in the Super Bowl. So let's see how the 72 overall, 73 overall. Let's see how he does. We're also going to have some decisions to make this offseason too, or this through the season, because we have a lot of guys that are up for contract, and I'm not sure that I have the funds to pay big signing bonuses. So we'll have to see what happens. All right, Trevor Charles. Your zone coverage is only a 77. Let's build you up more. In fact, let's take a look at who's coming up here. Alright, so Maynard is coming up, although it might be best to let him go because we still have Austin, and he hasn't really, or Maynard hasn't been able to develop behind him. Our starting right tackle, our starting free safety, our second starting wide receiver, starting tight end, starting wide receiver, and our all-pro right out of linebacker. So yeah, it's going to be expensive. I have 98 million to work with, so I guess we'll have to see. Maybe I'll give some of those guys shorter contracts rather than the 7-year deals. In fact, here's the first, Fitzsimmons. Now, if I give him a 7-year deal, that'll put him at 32 years old. So we'll get him for his entire prime. How much does he want? He wants 20 million a year. Will he be worth 20 million a year when he's 31 and 32? Man, 20 million a year for a wide receiver. Of course, he's going to get it in the off season. So, man, I finally drafted an X Factor wide receiver, and he turns out to be amazing. And now I'm not sure if he's worth keeping. So there's 90 overall. I can't see his. Let's go to the roster here. That way we can see his stats and contract or stats. See how he's been doing. So he's been a 1,000-yard receiver every year in the league. His touchdowns have been declining, but he did get 2 touchdowns that first game. Let's see how good he ends up being. Because here's the thing: if we're going to draft a rookie quarterback, he's going to need people to throw to. So let's see how the season plays out. And I'll do scouting in a second here. Oh. I'm gonna give this guy some power. There we go. That helped a lot, I think. Alright, so we are 1-1. I guess okay, so he's averaging about 1 touchdown a game, which is actually pretty good. Alright, I'll do my scouting now and then we'll move on. Okay, I have to apologize because it seems my mic was muted for almost an entire video segment here, so for a little while it's going to be free of commentary. The commentary does pick up a little later, actually maybe a lot later. I thought about deleting that whole section, but that's going to be a major part of the entire video that is going to be missing, so I figured I'd just leave it in without commentary and you can enjoy not having to hear my voice for a little while. So again, I apologize for that. Enjoy the rest of the video until I start talking again.